Hi, Rick. And I recognize a lot of your names yet again. I've got this whole system going on, which is taking up a lot of space in front of me. But as I was saying, believe it or not, this is the last live of the year 2020 with Sktchy. And I believe that, okay, let me see if I can get this to go live too. I believe that we did almost 100 lives, right, Sktchy? And um, I'm doing my 41st today. So how about that? 41st of the year. I can't seem to be able to get the live going on my iPad. It's not, or maybe I need to play it. Oh, I guess I do. Oh, that's bizarre. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it on the other side here. I guess I do have a live going on. Oh, guys, sorry if this is a little bit I don't want to say it's a bit sketchy because that's not really what I mean to say. But guess what's going on? We know now that in January we've got this new exciting 30 Faces 30 Days starting January 1st. And January 1st, I'm going to be only one of 31, I believe, artists, not 30, but 31, um, all doing graphite. It's going to be an all graphite 30 Faces 30 Days. So if you guys want to jump on that bandwagon, you can get a little bit of a discount. I believe that the discount using my discount code will be 30F30D France, and that will get you, I believe, $5 off of the price. So take advantage of that if you haven't yet. I wonder how many of you have already signed up actually for 30 Faces 30 Days. Um, and so, yeah, I'm trying not to get distracted from sounds coming from outside. And yes, I'm going to do a graphite portrait today as well. I'm so happy to see you guys. This is great. So I see a lot of comments. I'm going to try also to um, to keep track of the comments. Like for instance, yes, Sktchy, we did 99 lives. And when I say we, all the artists of Sktchy together, and I hosted 41 of them. Sounds insane, but I guess confinement really did help with that, right? So this would be the 41st today. And Sktchy, I'm going to also put this on the chat. We currently have 700 plus total signups and expecting about 1,000 people signing up for 30 Faces 30 Days in January. I'm so happy that a lot of you have um, signed up already. Oh, it's so nice. Paul, thank you for your comment. I'm glad that Zach is taking over. Um, and I'm going to start. I know that some of you have said already on Instagram, oh my gosh, you are not sparing us any, you know, anything by choosing such a tough muse today. But take a look. Our muse is at a very interesting angle. Can you see her? There she is. All right, we are going to just put her on the side a little bit here. Here we go. This is our muse. I can even make our muse a little bigger, which I don't think should hurt. Just a tiny bit like this, okay? How does this feel? Good? Yep, good. Okay. Yes, Judy is telling me that I'm evil, pure evil, for choosing such a tough muse. And my computer is making really like heavy fan sounds. This is not reassuring. Okay. All right. I'm glad to read that a lot of you are signing up for 30 Faces 30 Days. That's awesome. Danielle, tu es inscrite? Okay. Danielle Desnoyers. Excellent. Okay. So instead of having my face on now, let's switch to the important stuff, which is what I'm about to draw on and what I'm about to draw with. So, as very often with my Sktchy classes, I am drawing on my moleskin. It's what they call a large moleskin, but it's really not big at all, as you know. It's a fairly small format compared to the bigger one that I have, which is an extra large. So this is my favorite moleskin ever. And with my moleskin today, I've decided to go very simple because, as you know now, this is very much my mantra when it comes to drawing with any medium, whether it's pen or pencil. I really believe in using cheap materials. So here we go. Today we're going to go with HB. Are you okay with that, guys? It doesn't mean that this is what you have to use, but this is what I'm going to be comfortable with at the beginning. So HB pencil. This is a regular one, you know, the kind that you find in the office stores with the little eraser at the end. But I'm also on the side keeping my jumbo ones. So this is my HB, which means number 2. It's Faber-Castell, as you know, it's a jumbo. And I'm also, just in case I cannot quite achieve the dark, you know, like in her hair, we have some really dark spots that I want to convey. I think a 2B might come in handy, but I'm not even sure that I'm going to use it. So I'm keeping those on the side. And I've decided that I would start with a 2H for like the, you know, like the outline and everything that I can just go very lightly on at first. I'm not going to continue with the 2H, but this is really for the start. And for those of you who've been asking, this is how I sharpen my pencils. I use a box cutter, okay? And I just cut like this over usually my garbage can. And I just let a lot of graphite be exposed, which then allows me to hold the pencil in certain ways that allow for a broader stroke. So there you have it. Um, you know what? I think Simon has a very legitimate fear, which is to really make this young lady look nothing like what she looks like. I also have the same fear, Simon. I share it. And we'll see what happens, right? We will see. All right. Yep, absolutely, Chris, right? No excuses. And that's really, as you know, those of you who've been following me now for months, if not years, that I believe in using what's at hand. Even though those jumbos here are not that easy to find, you can't just go into any office store and get your hands on these jumbos. So I ordered these from Amazon myself. Um, but otherwise, any HB will do. But as I said a minute ago, we are going to start with a very light one. I'm bringing Keith here. I'm bringing Keith into the picture. I bought Keith, same thing on the internet, so that I would have a skull to draw. Every time I want to draw from life, I really love drawing a skull. And the reason why I'm bringing Keith is because I want you to see that what we're drawing today is more or less this angle. You see what I'm talking about? Maybe even more like this, okay? Now, why am I showing you this? Is because we are going to have to take into account that there's a whole volume going on, okay? There's the jaw, okay? You see it in our muse also. You see that the nose is going to come forward and hide a big portion of that eye back there. And that things are all at this angle. So now I'm going to use my pencil to show you that this is all very much at this angle, okay? And that's the line that I want to start with, because if I don't keep those lines on my paper, I'm going to lose track of them, and then I might distort. So, oh my gosh, Anne, you also got a Keith for Christmas? I'm so excited about that, that I love knowing these kinds of things. So Anne got her own Keith for Christmas. Honestly, Judy, I would be very tempted to just draw Keith today, to tell you the truth. But, you know, maybe we can keep that as an idea for a future class with Sktchy, right? How about that? Like maybe have our own, like from life um, skull and play with that. But I'm going to keep that open for the future. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, where can you buy this cranium, Claudio? Very good question. I went online, and on Amazon, I typed simply anatomy skull. And they have some that are very much like in size, and they have small ones like this one. See how small this one is, right? It's smaller than a regular skull, but that's just enough. That's enough to grasp volume and light, obviously. All right, so keeping in mind that we have a skull and that skull is at a certain angle, then we're going to start, ladies and gentlemen. No further ado. And what if we have, you know, the face like this, and then maybe a jaw going this way, right? What I'm drawing here, you're probably wondering, oh man, this is so light, I can't see these lines. That's perfectly fine, guys. Don't worry about not seeing these lines. These are just construction lines that I'm doing with a 2H pencil, okay? 2H Faber-Castell, the brand does not matter as far as I'm concerned. Whatever 2H, whatever brand will do, okay? Oh my gosh, D. Wade, that's an excellent question. Would you ever consider drawing yourself from life during a live broadcast? I would, and I can guarantee you that it would be catastrophic, but at least we would get a good laugh out of it, right? So yes, of course I would, because I'm not above making fun of myself. So absolutely. Okay, let's locate this hat here. It's somewhere here. Remember that I've got a skull underneath it and I've got all that hair that is going to go in the back there. So right now these lines are very rough. Don't worry about them being rough. We're going to draw over and over them, and then little by little, maybe we're going to use an eraser to get rid of some of them. And talking of eraser, my gosh, I should be on top of things. Lately, when I was drawing in graphite, and you will see this in the 30 Faces 30 Day lesson that I've been using this little Mono Zero. I know some of you who've been following my classes, you have seen this little Mono Zero by Tom Bao. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this well, or Tom Bo, I'm not sure. But this is a little eraser made in Japan, and look at how thin the eraser is compared to, let's say, my graphite here. It's very thin, and this allows for sometimes like getting rid of just a little bit, like for example when we do hair and things like that. So I'm going to keep this close by. And right now I'm still in 2H, by the way. I also did this drawing a couple of days ago on my iPad as more or less of a warm-up. I wanted to, get a feel for it, and I'm glad I did, because it taught me a couple of things about how to tackle this angle when I did it on the iPad. If you want, I can show you quickly what it looked like. This was my result on the iPad. I did it with one of my new brushes made by Georg. If you're interested in getting those brushes, you can. But just to give you an idea, obviously the resemblance is not great, but as you know by now, resemblance is not usually the quest for me. For me, it's all about getting the proportions right, true, getting those shadows right, getting all that stuff. And there's a lot of shadow in this. I'm still with my 2H, guys. I'm still being very tentative with my lines. I'm being non-committal, so to say. I really am. Okay, there's some hair here on the side. Don't be surprised if I go beyond the hour a little bit, since I started a little late, given my my little sound snafu at the beginning. Okay. Yes, Judy, can you switch to something stronger? I strongly encourage this. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I did not know this. Thank you for this little piece of information. It's Japanese for dragonfly. I appreciate that. That's excellent to know. See, I didn't know all these things. All right, and then we're going to have a nose somewhere around here. And do you remember what happens with a nose? There's usually a ball at the end that I'm going to place, all right about here. Talk about looking clownesque, right, Simon? We are definitely in the clown area right now, but don't worry. And this is something that I will always urge you to keep in mind. Don't be afraid to let it go ugly first before something nice comes out of a portrait, okay? Trust the process. Let it go goofy at first, and don't let that deter you. It cannot be beautiful from beginning to end. It can't. It can't. It just can't. Okay, I think I've got what I want out of this, meaning out of my 2H, and I think I'm going to be ready to switch to HB, if you guys are okay with that. Ah, my kitty is making an appearance. That's always good. I always tell my students now that we teach all remotely, when she shows up during our Google Meets, that I do feed her, I do change her litter, but she does want to go out, so she lets me know that. Alright, this might be a little too big, but maybe I can fix that with my HB a little later. So maybe I can still keep the chin right around here. Chin, which is really always kind of another oval, and then boom, okay? Because I want to keep that distance. I don't want to change that, so I don't want to let things grow too much. I think I made the mouth grow just a tiny little bit. All right, let's fix that a little. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. That might be more like it, but I'm not 100% sure, hence the use of this, this 2H. But now I'm going to put down the 2H, everyone, okay? And we're going to go with this, as you know, number 2 pencil. And we're just going to tackle the rest. And this is not very sharp. I never really sharpened beyond that. So, okay. And did I get any nice art gifts from Santa? You bet I did. Oh my goodness. I got it may not seem like an art um, gift, but to me it is. It's a cover for my iPad, which has a keyboard attached to it, like those Apple keyboards. So I'm very happy about that. And that's going to allow for even more portability. All right, guys, I'm going in. I don't know about you, but I am going in. So here's that eye. And that eye is going to meet the bridge of the nose, right? And then I'm going to try not to make this a caricature either, okay? I'm being very careful with where I'm taking this nose. But again, having done this little circle-y thing, it really gives me the 3D-ness of the nose itself. That always helps. So I'm going fairly lightly with my HB. All right. And let's bring the other eye. I noticed that when I drew it on my iPad the other night, I put the eye a little too far, so I'm going to try not to make that mistake again. That's another thing that hopefully the 30 Faces, 30 Days challenge will show you, is that you don't always draw something once. Sometimes you rehearse and rehearse. Okay. Oh, can I get rid of the dark shadows? So, oh, I see what's going on. Okay, let's see if I can do this. All right, by standing up and closing here, does this help a little? Yeah, I hope it does. Polly, can you give me some feedback on this, if this is a little better? And, oh, gros coucou de Montréal. All right, let me ask Siri something. Hey, Siri, turn on desk. This is all very high-tech. Hey, Siri, turn on desk. I don't think I'm getting much of a response here. I should do it from my watch. Oh my goodness. If I turn on my desk, hopefully this will... Hey guys, can you be quiet for just a second while I ask Siri to turn on the desk? Hey Siri, turn on desk. One moment. Okay. Here we go. All right, how is the light now? Polly, is it better? Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, sorry about the delay due to, what can I say? Technical difficulty. I've got this HomePod next to me and some what they call, I guess, smart outlets, I guess. And these smart outlets respond to Hey Siri. I really don't know how far I'm gonna go with this portrait in 1 hour, so that's why I was telling you earlier I might go a little beyond the time. All right, there's already a little bit of light here on the eyelid that I'm gonna open up. Go. Okay, how are we? Oh my gosh, Annie, your Siri answered. I love that. Ah, I love when that happened. And you're how many miles away, Annie? I mean, really, thousands, right? I love the fact that Siri's over the phone sometimes they do that. Oh, this is hilarious. I love that. Okay, this is not well done here. I need to back up. Okay. Kitty still wants to go out. What else is new? So we're gonna have some dramatic shadows on this face. You know this, right, guys? It's gonna be. I made the hat a little too high. I'm gonna lower the top of it here. Yeah. Okay. Perhaps. I think I think this goes back more though. I could be wrong. I might have to fix that. I hope you guys can see this fairly well. Okay. I like how my camera system here is completely hiding my facial expressions, which is probably for the better. Right now I'm keeping everything light, you've noticed, right? I'm still not quite committing to very dark lines. And instead, I'm actually getting rid of some construction lines that are going to impede some of the lighter areas. Like you see how there's quite a bit of light hitting that nostril here? And there's going to be light, on the bridge of the nose here as well. So I'm going to try to work around that. And then there might be a little bit of cleanup going on the side. I'm not sure. Kitty. Can you hear the cat? Yes, it is, Andy. That would be Zucchini wanting to go out. And she's not going out. She thinks she is, but she's not. Last time she went out was before we got the big snowstorm here on the East Coast. And she stayed outside, or what I believe to be outside. Who knows? Maybe she found a new home and pretended to be a lost cat. And then she maybe hung out with another family for a whole day, but she was gone for almost 12 hours. So this is not happening again. We were like, we were worried. Talk about no loyalty there, cats. It's whoever has the best food, I think. Or whatever it is that they're after. Okay. My gosh, I'm not going too fast. Yes, the name came with the kitty. we got her in an adoption center, and her name was Zucchini. So we're like, oh, that's it. That's our kitty. Okay, so this is what I was talking about earlier. Getting into darker areas of the drawing. Like you see what I'm talking about here, that very dark shadow here under the hat. Now I can go ahead and put pressure and pressure and pressure, which is what I'm doing. But eventually I might have to just go with a 2B, just cause, right? There's nothing preventing me. This is still very much unresolved here, this whole area. And here we have quite a bit of shadows. There's the big shadow here, cutting across. Believe it or not, I think the hat is too high. So let me bring it down a tiny bit if I can. Okay, just after I made my big stark line, you know, I'm realizing that, oh no, I need to lower the hat. There we go. But at least pushing, you know, these dark values here in this corner is sort of giving me the kind of a landmark, you know, of how dark I can go. A benchmark, better than landmark. Yeah, I'm definitely putting quite a bit of pressure here to achieve that dark line. But this is the one thing I love about HB pencils, you know, is just they're so versatile, so versatile. Getting a buzz from my phone. Lift this up a tiny little bit again. There we go. So you see, by having this goofy sharpening job that I do on my pencils, now I can do this because I've exposed enough graphite that I can hold it this way, and it makes for a nice broad, not necessarily super clean stroke, but I like that because you see it's fades out in a way that I find pretty interesting. It's got stuff in it though, but we'll go with that. Even though these pencils are not meant as art pencils, I think they're just great. Yeah, zucchini probably would not like more vegetables in the house, Uta, believe it or not. She just wants to go out. She's a hunter. That's what we found out recently, is when we moved into this house. We realized that all she wanted to do was chase squirrels. And good for her, you know. But the thing is, we also like her quite a bit, so we want to keep her. And this is where really holding the pencil like this, guys, comes in really handy. When I go into the hair, let me show you. You know, I have like this whole big area here of shade, right? You're with me here? Look, we're going to deal with this shade with just very, what seems like a haphazard movement, right? Um, and that's really what I'm after, is just to create this illusion of shadow of curls and curls themselves, and not really knowing where one stops and, you know, where one starts. But it doesn't really matter because the photo doesn't really tell us that either. But this is what I love about holding a pencil like this. It saves you time. And then if I use my HB, which is the jumbo, um, it's very much, you know, very much the same experience. This one goes on lighter, as you've noticed. I love that though. See what it allows? And also all these areas here of shade, I can just cover, boom, in barely no time. I went a little too far with this line here. Let's tie this all together with a very light touch here. And then I'll come back with my eraser to do that highlight again along the nose. You'll see. Got stuff going on. Oh well. This is very much unresolved here still. But going back to my other HB, my number 2 pencil. I'm going to try not to smear too much. This is why I didn't do the whole hair. I mean, yes, I can use a little piece of paper underneath my hand, which eventually I'm going to feel the need to do, but right now I think for good. So keep in mind, those of you who have just joined us, that we are preparing for 30 Faces, 30 Days, starting in just a few days. The first big event, of 2021 at Sktchy. And it's going to be a lot of people, a lot of artists, a lot of people that I know and love are part of 30 Faces, 30 Days, Graphite Edition. I'm definitely going to try to do as much as I can of the challenge myself, just because I absolutely love the people involved in it. Some people I've met personally. It's going to be big. It's going to be pretty intense too, right? But that's the idea, and this will kind of push to, to build that drawing habit. What is going to push us? It's the hardest thing. So right now, I don't like this drawing at all. But that's also what I have to accept about the process. My own drawing process is that sometimes it just really sucks before it gets to the point that I like it. So I know that most of the time I can get out of that moment of ew and still come out with something that I can appreciate. So that whole accepting the process thing is crucial. Yeah, I'm so glad that Alvin was on board with 30 Faces, 30 Days. He's amazing. We did 4 lives together already, and what a pleasure. There are some people who are as awesome as people as they are artists, and man, that's wow when you find that out. Okay, I need to really move a little faster here, I think. See, that little eraser just comes in just to create a very precise line. I love that. I love that I can do that with just an eraser. How are you guys doing with this portrait? Okay. I'm so bad. Annie, I don't know enough about that to tell you the truth. And this is part of where I really lack in knowledge about, the difference between lead and graphite. Obviously, lead is something that we're no longer supposed to be around, like in houses and stuff. Um, so I am sure that there's something there that makes it. We still call it lead, but my guess is it's probably no longer lead. So if you guys know more than I do about this, please come in, chime in, because I want to learn. And I'll just draw. Alright, there's also here going to be a little nose ring that I don't want to neglect. It's going to make its appearance right there in the nose. Okay, we'll see if this works, okay? Alright, I'm going to go back to my other HB, which seems to be just a little lighter, and just come into the areas where, I'm sort of finding those mid-tones, and here too, and here as well. I'm going to go darker here. And here's that little spot of light on the bridge of the nose. And there's going to be another one right about here. Back to my okay. It's taking shape. Let me lighten this little highlight in the nose ring. Okay, you know what? What I lost track of is the time. Okay. Yeah, I really love the news too. She is looking wistful, isn't she? Who knows what's behind this facial expression? Big mystery. Okay, so if I grab my other HB, which is my jumbo here, um, I'm basically making lighter lines, but I'm covering ground and then going over it a little bit with some hatching. See, like this cheek here. This is fairly dark here, going down along the side of the mouth. Oui, lapin, viens, viens, Missa, viens. Viens là, viens sur mon bureau. Oh, she's right there. This is a really tough shadow right there. It would be easy to make it look wrong. Always trying to keep these lines parallel, you know, the eyes, mouth, bottom of the nostrils, all the things, all the things. And I have a paper, as you know, being moleskin, that has zero tooth or very little. And so basically, if you want to achieve any sort of darkness, you really have to work at it. Put the pressure on. Okay. Okay, back to my other HB, which seems to behave differently. Ooh, okay, comments. Maybe the volume is lower because I'm just getting quieter, Polly. That's not too surprising that I do. Yeah, I know. I should have named her Courgette, but for some reason, Courgette doesn't sound as cute as zucchini. I don't think. You know, Courgette. Oh, well, I guess there is a nice sound to it. Hey, Courgette, viens manger. I'll write a book called Mon chat Courgette. Okay, we're going dark here in the lips, okay? Because as you know, the upper lip is usually not as exposed to light as the lower part of the lip. Is everybody doing okay? Yeah. So, Simon, this is definitely a choice that that you've made here to go with a grainy, maybe a grainier paper. And the only way I would say that you can compensate for, the grain grabbing so much graphite, I would go with a lighter pencil or harder pencil. So Simon, for instance, you could do all this in H, for instance. Okay, so that could help. HB might become way too dark on a grainy, toothy paper. All right, so Sktchy is asking, do you guys have any questions about our upcoming 30 Faces 30 Day Challenge? If you do, I think this would be a great forum to ask your questions. Sktchy is here with us to answer some questions, the questions that I would not, for example, necessarily know the answer to. Like I wouldn't know exactly what pencil, what kind of graphite each artist is going to ask you to have. Things like that I wouldn't know the answer to, but maybe Sktchy is more in the know. So ask away. Ask away and give it all you've got. Okay. Yes, everything is pre-recorded. So our lessons during 30 Faces 30 Days are pre-recorded lessons. Indeed. I feel the same way about getting out of the ugly phase myself. Yeah. And how long is each lesson? I know that mine was about an hour. And that seems to be the case for everybody, though Sktchy can definitely either confirm or deny that. The length of each lesson. 30 to 60 minutes each, okay. Ute, I think you have a point about that. I find that when I have phases where I draw more than others, a lot of other things go neglected. And of course, yep. For me, the cooking is the one that goes first. Cleaning cannot be neglected, but cooking. Okay, so we are getting to the 1 hour mark. I know that some of you will probably go at this point, and that's fine. But I'm going to continue a little further because I don't want to leave this at this stage. I am going to want to monkey with everything here for a few more minutes. So I might just be here for another 5-10 minutes. But if you guys have to go, I totally get it. Because that's how it is, when I start something, the feeling of accomplishment doesn't always kick in. Yeah. Fiona, that's a very good question. I did have mine done within the time limit. So, yeah, I didn't have a preliminary sketch going on. Okay, let's see if I can clean up the chin a little bit. Make that line a little less stark. Okay, there we go. And now back to my lighter HB. Keep in mind that underneath it all, there is a skull, right? There is a shape, there's a roundness that is due to, again, you know, all of this. So right now I'm dealing with cheek. And there's a strong highlight here going on the side of the cheek that I really don't want to miss out on. Okay, guys, grabbing a 2B now here. Let me tell you why. Because I want to do the dark part of the hair fairly quickly and not put too much pressure, because again, I'm dealing with a paper that has very little tooth and really kind of demands a lot of pressure. Okay. Margaret, I will answer this question. I'm so glad you asked. I don't spray anything in my sketchbooks. If I do like a commission portrait, I will definitely go with a fixative that I have here, or even a hairspray, a stronghold um, hairspray, which smells so much better than the fixative, which fixative smells so chemical for weeks and weeks. So Margaret, what I do is when it's within my sketchbook like this, I just cut out a little piece of paper afterwards like this, and I stick it in the middle of this drawing and whatever comes next, so that it does not affect, you know, it doesn't smear or anything like that. So that's a good question, because I don't spray within a sketchbook usually. Because you know how it is when you spray paper, the paper tends to buckle a little bit, and then, ugh, who wants that? I am far from being done with the rest of the hair, as you can tell, but I'm going to suggest it anyway, because, again, kind of keeping track of my proportions, making sure that I've got the hair where it belongs. There we go. Right now this looks very flat and frankly not very appealing, but going back in with some hatching will make things look a lot better. Okay, let's see the end of the ear looks as though it's right about here. Everything behind it is again dark, not lit curls. And then the back of the neck. I'm really not saying much about the ear right now, I'm just suggesting it. Back to my HB here. And now HB again, but this time to stress the shape of the face. Okay, doing the same thing here. And even though this is as far as I've gone today, oh my goodness, I'm going to stop soon in the next 5 minutes and hope that you guys got something out of this and that it gave you a taste of what's going to happen during 30 Faces, 30 Days, coming up so soon. In just a few days, we're all going to be on board, and guys, I really hope you will appreciate the muse that I chose for 30 Faces, 30 Days, because this is a gentleman who, my gosh, from my earlier days at Sktchy, I have seen so many photos of, and I've always felt as though I wanted to draw him. I wanted to, never quite found the right photo, even though he posted so many. But then when we got close to 30 Faces, 30 Days, and I had to prepare my lesson and shoot, oh, I found just the right shot. All right, let me see. Sorry if I didn't keep track of the comments. Yes. Oh, no, no prescribed number of values at all, Ronnie. Not at all. Just going with what I see, and again, determining where the darkest dark is, and then sort of going with that. I have no idea right now what number of values I have. If you guys can tell me, let me know, because I don't know. And honestly, the reason why I don't know is because I don't think it matters to me. To me, I don't think it matters to me. Okay, just finishing up here, guys. Even though obviously it is not finished, I know. But getting to, make this face look more like a full head, even though the hat has been properly neglected, which is a shame, because when I did it on Procreate the other day, I really went in with colors and did all the Burberry colors. But today, nope. Total neglect of the hat. Yeah, I really hope you guys will dig the muse that I chose for 30 Faces, 30 Days. So Ronnie, no established number of values at all. I'm glad, Carol. I'm so glad to hear that you are actually feeling happy about the results of your drawing. So I really had to plow through the ugly stages, especially around the eyes. You've noticed that I did that very tentatively, very slowly. But I too am coming out of this, of course, with an unfinished drawing right now, fine, but with a feeling of, I couldn't have left it alone earlier than now, because it was still at a stage where I don't think I would have been happy leaving it. That's the whole thing about, leaving things unfinished. Leaving things unfinished usually happens once you've reached a point where you're like, yeah, I'm happy with this. and then you can walk away and make a cup of tea, you know. But until you do, you're still plowing through and struggling a little bit, you know, to make it look right. And then once that starts emerging, it's like, oh, okay, now we're good. Now we can breathe. Lots of shadows in the neck here. And there's a t-shirt going this way and a lot more going on in the neck, which I won't tackle because I simply do not have the time, unfortunately. So this line here is sitting here a little awkward, but I hope you guys can forgive me since I am going to have to end the broadcast in just a couple of minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, my goal, obviously, the goal of finishing is not achieved, but the goal of at least conveying these hard shadows on her face and making them nice and contrasty against, you know, those strong highlights here, that to me is done. I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out and how it all kept its 3D-ness. Okay, and of course I did not even do the lines, you know, these cool lines in the hat. I did not even tackle that, but oh no, I made it Adidas. What can I say? So voila, I'm gonna let you be now, guys. Um, I think if I was drawing for myself here, Simon, I would definitely be tempted to continue, especially because of what's going on in this area here. You know, there's the strap of the backpack, the shoulder here. There's a whole lot going on that I would like to address. Even as you know, I'm not afraid of walking away from something that's very unfinished. But there's unfinished and unfinished. It's what I consider unfinished that I like. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, I'm gonna stop it here. I hope you had a good time drawing. I hope that this was a challenging angle enough. Um, I might monkey with it a little bit more later, but what I'm going to do though is head over to Sktchy Art School, post this as is. I want to see what you've done. If you care to share it too, no pressure, of course. Those of you who drew on the iPad, I want to see that too. Thank you everyone for being here today. I had a really good time, and I hope we'll see you all at Sktchy's 30 Faces 30 Days for the month of January. And who knows what 2021 is going to bring in terms of lessons, right? Oh, yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day. Those of you on the in the other side of the world, I know that your day is probably well underway. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you for 30 Faces, 30 Days. Happy New Year. Bye, and thank you for being here. I'm going to stop it here. Ciao, everyone. Good to see everybody, too. Bye.